First up, we have a game that I'm pretty sure most of you have never heard of before. It's an import game. It's a shoot 'em up, a shmup, and it's called Radirgy Swag, and it's on the Illumatic Envelope Radirgy Swag collection on the Nintendo Switch. So the Radirgy series is a very strange series. Radirgy is a combination of the words radio and allergy. Radio allergy, Radirgy. And the first game came out on the Dreamcast in Japan, and it was one of the last games to come out for the system. They ported it to the Wii, and now we have like a sequel to it here in this Radirgy Swag. And this game is bizarre. I'll just try to like describe kind of how it's played, but first let me give you a little bit of background of the plot of it. And it's hard to follow, but it's something to the degree that radio waves in the future are like giving everybody these terrible allergies and making them crazy, and they don't want to go outside, so they hire these delivery people to bring them stuff, and that's who you are in this game. You're a delivery person. In this version of the game, I think you're trying to escape to the moon. It's hard to say, but in general, I mean, from what you see, you can see it's like chaos. Good luck figuring out how to play this game without a guide. I'll kind of describe what you see on the screen. Over on the left are like these level up, I don't know, bars. You can ignore that. That's garbage for unlocking like extras like achievements and stuff. Up at the top right, you have your life. That's your health. And then below it, you have two gauges. The innermost one is your charge gauge, which is essential to the gameplay. And the one to the right is like your progress to the moon. This game doesn't have stages. It's just from, your home apartment till you get to the moon, and that's it. So what you do is you basically have two shot types. Usually you just kind of stick with one, but in addition to that, you have a sword, like a melee weapon, and that's important. What you do is you kill enemies, and they drop icons that have different power-ups. You kind of juggle them like you do in the Twin B series. So if you hit them with your melee attack, they bounce up to the top of the screen, and they rotate. And what you're trying to do is basically get up like icons to speed yourself up to get to the moon quicker and to get like higher scores. There's health, there's multipliers, things that charge up that gauge, that innermost gauge. And the way it works is basically the goal is to fill that gauge. And what it does is it like gives you like almost like a bomb or a charge attack that makes you invincible and also damages enemies. And the goal is to keep that charged as quickly as or as often as you can, to basically spam it. And the whole game is just like, it's almost like a rhythm game. You're trying to keep that gauge filled up. And the best way to do that is to like speed up and hit as many enemies as you can to keep getting those icons to fill it up and get score multipliers and basically just stay invincible the whole time. And that's cool. It's like a chaining game, which is fun. As you can see, the graphics, they're very cool, but they're very busy. It's kind of hard to focus on what's going on in this game. It's the same with all the Radirgy games, or all the games made by this company that made this. They're called Milestone. They've done several games similar to this. And the music is always like this kind of trance music, and the whole gameplay is centered around getting into this like flow state of just, like feeling the rhythm of it. All the enemies are like randomly placed, so you just get into this flow state where you're just chaining and you're grooving out to this trance music, and it's okay. It's pretty catchy. The music's all right. But the things that I hate about this game, one is there's just a lot to keep track of. You got to like watch your health gauge. You got to watch all the power-ups. You have to watch the enemy bullets. You have to deal with this juggling mechanic where you try to like rotate the icons to speed icons or health icons or whatever you need. It really does remind me of Twin B, and I freaking hate that series a lot. And this game kind of involves like holding down, you know, multiple buttons. Like you hold down your shot button and your melee attack button, and you have to kind of like let off the melee attack button. It's kind of like throttling the gas in a car, if you've ever done that, like in like being in rush hour traffic. It's tiring, and it makes my hands hurt actually just kind of playing this game. Like I mentioned, the enemy placement is randomized, and it really does make the game feel more like a rhythm game than a shmup most of the time. You don't really like dodge much or route your way through the levels. Instead, you just kind of like react and time these bomb presses. It's okay. If you get into it, it's fine. I was able to get really far into this, but I honestly tell you guys, I never made it to the moon. I never got to the end of it, like played all the way through the game. And you can't beat this game unless you one credit clear it. You have one life. You play from the beginning to the end. If you're really good, like world record kind of good, you can do it in about 10 minutes. I think most people would probably take them 20 minutes to play through the whole game, but you know, you're going to put in a lot of time really getting good at that. And combined with that, the fact that it's just one kind of long, drawn-out level is that there are no practice modes or difficulty levels. Like this is the game, you play it, and you get good or you get gone, right? And you know, the game's fine. It's fun. Like I said, I never got to the end of it. I got really close. According to the game, which has like online leaderboards, I have like the 461st highest score on this game in the whole world, which was really surprising to me, which means that like of all the copies of this game ever sold, like less than 400 people ever reached the end. So like it's not for the faint of heart. I know a lot of people are not playing this. This is about as niche as they come, guys. I understand that. But overall, the game, like I said, it's okay. It just feels like almost like a supplemental score attack kind of extra mode you'd see in a normal shoot 'em up. And that's kind of where my complaint comes in with this game. And it's like that for a lot of these milestone games. They can be a little hit or miss. So Radirgy swag on the Illumatic envelope Radirgy swag collection that you have to import from Europe if you can, or not Europe, from Asia if you can even find it. Should you play it? I don't know. If there's like a demo of this game, which there's probably not, I would try that. I don't know who this game appeals to. I'm a huge shoot 'em up fan and I'm a huge rhythm game fan, and I feel like this straddles both of those, but doesn't do either one particularly well. So I don't know. I buy like every shmup. So I got this, and I've never really been a big fan of the other games this company made, and this is no exception. Illumatic Envelope, the other game on this, I don't know about that one either. We'll see when it gets picked for me randomly to play. But Radirgy swag, some controversy about with this when it was supposed to come out in the West, and the company that was putting it out and published it, like put it up for pre-order and then like stole everybody's money, like never put the game out. And so I don't know what's going on with that. So I just got the Japanese version. I'd say this game is like a 6 out of 10. It's okay.